All right, now I'm in the kitchen with Chef Larry Adler. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Great. How are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well, doing well.
You are in the spirit of the season.
That's right. It's both Passover and Easter, so we thought we'd do a little Passover stuff since that's not often on TV.
Okay, it smells good already. What do you got going here then?
Well, we got a little matzo balls already ready for the soup, but we made some fresh soup last night, and we finished it off this morning. We'll talk some about that.
Gonna make some matzo balls.
Matzo balls, some chopped liver.
Chopped liver.
Your favorite.
Yummy. Love the liver. Well, I know a lot of people do, and it is a traditional food.
It is a traditional Jewish food, and so we thought we'd show people how to do that this morning.
All right, well, we're going to be doing lots of great traditional Passover foods. We're going to get you started for your holidays in just a minute. All right, back in the kitchen now with Chef Larry Adler from Stratford University, and he's going to make some great holiday Passover recipes. Everything smells good already.
Well,
so I can't wait to learn this one, matzo balls.
Matzo balls. Matzo balls is one of those things that's fairly easy to make, and we...
it looks, or sounds complicated. It looks,
sounds
people are like, ugh.
And it really starts with matzah that's ground
Okay.
into meal. And so we're going to start with, for every half cup of matzah meal, you use 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of both a liquid and an oil. That's
Okay.
about all it is. So
Any liquid, any oil? Is it? I mean, it's National Beer Day. Can we use beer?
you probably could use beer, except beer won't work for Passover because it's made out of wheat, so you can't really do that.
All right.
But you could use a stock or you could use water. I use club soda in mine, as a matter of fact.
Now, why do you use the club soda?
It just gives it a lighter matzo ball.
Okay.
It was a secret passed
The
down.
carbonation.
Little carbonation, and it's legal
good
for
tip.
Passover.
All right.
So we'll start with just breaking those 2 eggs and put
All
them
right.
in that bowl there. We'll let you
He's
in
looking at
charge
me,
here,
so
yeah.
I guess I'm breaking eggs. All
You're
right.
breaking
Now,
eggs,
when you do your matzah there, do you stick it in a food processor or do you?
You can buy the meal. I happen to make mine with whatever I have leftover matzah with. So I stick it in my food processor, and
Yeah.
you can go ahead and add your club soda and the oil.
All right. Let me get rid of my eggs here.
All right. Well, I'll take
All right.
Club
There we go.
soda, a
Add the
little
club
oil,
soda. See, I like to try to keep the kitchen clean when I cook because then I have less cleanup to do later.
and just go ahead and whip
Something
those
from home.
up.
All right. Wow, he really puts you to work on here. All right, I'm
That's
going.
right. We believe in.
That's right.
I'm gonna just add a little bit of salt, maybe about
right.
a half teaspoon of salt.
We get sea salt or what is?
This is just kosher salt,
Kosher
needless
salt.
to say.
Yeah, haha.
A little bit of pepper, just
All right.
just because I like pepper.
Who doesn't? All right. Is that good or we
That's
need
good.
it
That's
frothy?
good.
Okay.
And I'll take over from that. We're just gonna take
All
the
right.
matzo meal and just stir it in.
And how much again is that?
This is a half cup.
Half a cup.
Half cup, 2 eggs, 2 tablespoons of oil, and a liquid.
All right.
And I'm going to, and at first it's a little bit liquidy.
Right. A little watery in there.
So I'm going to let it sit. And so you let it sit for at least 30 minutes.
Let the matzah soak it up.
Yep, which I've already done. So we're going
Of
to,
course you have. You're always prepared.
we're already ready to go. This is sort of a 3-step process for us. So we're going to take this and we're going to stick this right in the refrigerator and swap it out by the miracles of modern television.
Now, what is the refrigerator? Does that help it along? Or can
well,
you leave it on
certainly,
the counter?
certainly because we have eggs.
Right.
We don't, and I often make it.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that
so
soaked it all up.
It really soaks it up pretty well.
Looks almost like oatmeal now.
Yeah. So, and so the magic of this is a couple things. One,
Okay.
if you talk to my grandmother, she would say use wet hands.
Wet hands. Okay.
But, so we're gonna
All right.
let's just wet our hands just a little bit if you don't mind.
Wet your hands.
And so, but I use a
I
portion
don't know if
scoop.
I'm going to get involved in this too.
So
but all
a
right,
portion
I better.
scoop is allows me to know how many I'm making.
Little ice cream scoop.
A little ice cream
Scoop,
scoop,
all right.
and just for a little hint, they come in proportions. This one is a 30-portion one.
Okay.
So it gets 30 portions per quart. So if you have so that's how I know how many I'm making. So I'm basically going to take that, put it in my hand, just roll it around a little bit of wet hands, and drop it in the water.
And then you don't have kids fighting over who gets the big one too, because they're all
That's
the
right.
same size.
Everything's the same size.
There you
go. Your turn.
All right.
Here we go.
Wet hands.
Wet hands.
All right. Just roll it up.
Little ball.
Roll it up in a little ball, and toss it in. Oh, that's easy. That's fun. You know, I bet the kids would love to do this too, because they like to get their hands all messy and.
And you can often pre-portion them, so then just roll them and put them all in at once.
Oh, okay.
For doing that. So.
Pretty easy.
That's matzo balls, not rocket science. So I
No.
made some chicken stock last night, which was basically I just cooked off chickens for 4 or 5 hours, strained it off. This morning I added some carrots, some onions, a little celery, some of the chicken back into it, and we'll add it to the matzah. The recipes we posted, but that's basically matzo ball soup. Not rocket science here for anybody to do it.
All right.
All right.
Well, that sounds delicious. And then coming up in just a little bit, we're going to make some
Chopped liver.
liver and onions. All right. Sounds great. All right. Well, let's go check in on the buzz while you continue to cook away at the
All right.
matzo balls.
Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Chef. Extra 5 minutes if you have to, so you can enjoy some matzo balls.
Good morning
Because
again.
these things are great. Good morning to Chef Larry Adler, and we are making a traditional Passover feast here.
At least the
part
starts of it. At least
part
the
of it.
starts of it, yeah.
All right, so let's see. We've got our matzo balls boiling away
Right.
for about 30 minutes. They need to go, right?
Yeah, they'll 30 minutes until they're soft and tender. You can, when you really know they're done, they'll sink back to the bottom of the pot, but
Oh,
they've
okay.
absorbed enough water.
So
But
are the ones I did, are they holding up?
they're holding up. They
Okay,
look
good.
great. They look great.
All right, good.
You know,
I was a little concerned.
they look really good. And they're
Ah, there we go.
nice and
All right, they still have a little bit to go because they're still floating.
A little bit more to go.
All right. So what do we do then once they sink to the bottom?
We're just going to turn off the water and stick them in the soup or serve them with the soup.
That's super easy.
This is not rocket science. These are peasants' food meant to feed a lot of people.
All right, now you're going to try to sell me on something that since childhood I've been kind of trying to steer clear of, but go ahead.
All right, well, I'm not a liver either, but I
Liver.
love chopped liver. And so this
Okay.
morning we thought we'd do a little chopped liver, at least show you how to make it.
So you can try it.
Yeah,
You can't
that's right.
try everything once.
So it's really only 3 ingredients. It's onions, liver, and egg.
Okay.
So
Simple.
how bad could it be? So we're going to saute the onions. And let's go ahead and throw those onions
All
right in
right.
the pan here.
All right, onions, sauteed onions I can do.
Yeah,
All right.
get a little sizzle going. And I'll do the liver since I
Thank
know
you.
you're not a big liver
Thank
fan.
you.
And I'm just going to,
Oh, we got some faces in the audience. I'm
that's
telling
right.
you.
So we're going to,
It doesn't look pretty, Larry, I got to tell you.
it doesn't. We also would, for this many livers, this is about, a half a pound of liver. We'd probably do 2 hard-boiled eggs.
Okay.
The more eggs you add, the less livery it becomes.
All right.
And so you saute these until they're nice and golden. Done. The liver's completely done.
Use some
Pull
little
them
olive
off.
oil in there, is that what you,
I
or
happen
whatever.
to use a little chicken fat, but that's
Olive oil, chicken, whatever you got around.
whatever oil
You know.
works. I had a little schmaltz, so
All
I
right.
added that into it. So we're going to saute in a little bit of fat. The fats add more flavor to it. So
Okay. And you were trying to tell me, again, telling me that it's a good for you, bad for you kind of thing, which the holidays usually are, right?
That's right. This
Okay.
is, livers are high in nutrients, high in iron. But, some people, they're organ meat. So,
Right.
they're probably also high in fat and high in cholesterol and all those sort of things. So you sort of balance it out. Life in moderation. I wouldn't eat it every meal. But, a good chopped liver sandwich with a slice of onion on it, who could ask for anything more?
Well, not you, right? Larry, we've got hands going up. Some people over there definitely want to try. So if I go over to Stratford, am I going to learn something like
Well,
cooking liver?
what we're trying to do at Stratford, more than any other school, I think, is bring up the level of competency a person can work in the kitchen. Our
Okay.
goal is to make it so a professional chef, he could move into the kitchen, he could run the kitchen, he could serve in the kitchen, he could prep in the kitchen, but be able to do it. Giving him good speed, good timing, good temperature of the food.
Yeah, if you know everything, you tend to be better, right?
As opposed to specializing on one cuisine.
Right.
Now, we've just announced
Job security as well.
job security. We're in our third quarter, moving into our fourth quarter of the school opening in Virginia Beach. We have another campus in Newport News, but so students are just working on their knife skills. Baking and pastry students are now going off into cakes, custards, and creams. They're going out into cake decorating next quarter. They'll do breads, candies, confections, as they learn the skill of how you survive in the kitchen.
All right. I can really hear the livers sizzling away now.
Yeah, everything is sort of going along.
All right.
And so you're going to cook
I don't
these.
need to turn them off in. Just need to let them
No,
go,
we're
huh?
gonna let them go. I probably toss them
Okay.
a little bit in a little bit, but we'll let them cook for a little bit. This is easy cooking, as a matter of fact. As most traditional foods don't take a lot of time for you to do.
Yeah, and some of the other traditional menu options we were talking about for Passover, you've got horseradish is one of those traditional, condiments
Horseradish,
that we
gefilte
have.
fish, which I'll start making this week. These foods represent this idea of this exodus from Egypt. And so everything has some symbolism, but it also has link to the culture of peasants who needed to feed a lot of people. So they took food that others didn't eat and made soups out of it, made livers out of it,
The
made
liver, just saying.
ground
yeah.
fish so it would spread amongst a lot of people.
We need to get some of this plated up here as we go along because
All
we're
right.
going to be feeding a group here too. Now that's your finished liver over there, right?
Oh yeah, we
Let's
have
take
some
a look
finished
at-
liver.
So it doesn't look anything like it did when we first put it
Nor
in.
does it taste anything if you're
Okay.
used to just liver.
That looks like a dip that I would see at a party, and I would try that.
Absolutely.
All right.
So,
Well,
we're ready to plate?
all right, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's get this on the plate. Yeah, now see, the livers are cooking pretty quickly.
See now yours are starting to sink?
I'll tell you what, I'm going to let you plate that up, and we're going to take a look at the finished product when we come back, all right?
Sounds good.
All right,
Thank you very much.